Every October in Los Angeles, they have what's called the Feria de Moles, meaning the Mole Fair. Young didn't want to wait till October. She just ordered everything right now. So we're going to have to sit here till October and eat. We're at the edge of Koreatown in Los Angeles. We are at an authentic Oaxacan restaurant called Guelaguetza. Guelaguetza is known as probably the best Oaxacan restaurant in the United States. It certainly is one of the first ones that opened up here in LA. And LA has a giant Oaxacan population. In fact, the people in the know refer to this place as Oaxaca, California. And that's because Los Angeles has the second largest Oaxacan population outside of Oaxaca, Mexico. Now, Oaxaca, Mexico is the gourmet area of Mexico. If you like Mexican food, you come to Oaxaca, you'll get the moles, you get the champurrados, which is the hot chocolates, and mezcal is made there. They also have things called tlayudas, which are like really dry corn tortillas with some beans and cheeses and meats on them. It's really good. We're here mostly for the moles, but we're going to try a bunch of authentic Oaxacan food, and we're really looking forward to this. We hope you enjoy it as well. If you come to Los Angeles, try the Oaxacan food. Go to Guelaguetza. It's the king of Oaxacan here. Oaxaca is particularly famous for its mezcal. Mezcal nowadays tends to be made kind of all over Mexico, but some of the best from the country comes from Oaxaca. And everybody recognizes Oaxaca as the primary source of mezcal throughout Mexico. If you're a real mezcal fan, even if you like tequila, you should try mezcal. It's a little stronger. But if you're a big mezcal fan, you should try some of the Oaxacan mezcals because they're generally considered to be some of the best.
Esto sea duradero, que sea algo sincero, que un perro no cambia y eso es lo que es él. Pero tú lo viste, mi amor, tú viste mi mejor versión, tú hiciste lo que nadie.
Okay, this is not on the menu, but this is about as authentic Oaxacan food as you can get. There are street stalls all over Oaxaca, Mexico, where they make this. This is called tejate. Tejate is a drink that's made up of roasted ground corn and cocoa beans and a whole bunch of other flavorings. You find it on the streets, and I figured as long as we're in a Oaxacan restaurant, I want to try some tejate and see what it's like. Oh, that's good. That's good. It's a different flavor than what you generally expect. You can taste the corn, you can taste the cocoa. It's got some interesting flavors. You can get this with or without alcohol. Now they've also, thank you so much. They've also brought us some tortilla chips, and instead of your standard salsa with it, they're covered with mole, because mole is a Oaxacan dish. This looks like a mole rojo, a red mole. So I am looking forward to trying their mole. Their mole is so good here. Actually, Gold Belly ships it all over the country because it's considered some of the best mole made in the USA. So let's try it. That's slightly sweet. It's not spicy, but it's really flavorful. Definitely worthwhile. Young, maybe you want to stop videoing and get in here and try some of this mole and chip. thinking about trying your Festival de Mole,
Festival de Mole, that's a
but
great choice.
but we are going to ultimately get a mole negro separate. So is there any way to get the mole amarillo instead of the mole negro on the festival? Let's do that. That way we can try all your different moles.
Of course.
We've started out with the Festival de las Moles. Basically what it is it's a bunch of chicken breasts with coloradito. They gave us mole. We'll ask about that.
This one is mole estafado,
Uh-huh.
mole rojo,
Uh-huh.
mole amarillo,
That's the amarillo.
and mole rojo.
Got it. Okay, so we got that. There's stuff, different kinds of moles. The negro is the most famous. We're getting a separate plate of mole negro. So we're getting trying all their different varieties. And in the meantime, they have handmade tortillas, they have rice, and I think there's our little tortillas in the bowl. That's the quesillo fundido, little founder's cheese. And you usually get queso fundido in Mexican restaurants, but this is a little bit different because it has mushrooms and beef in it.
Me siento en control. El balance en este mundo poco humor.
Cheesy weezy goodness. That's got beef, it's got cheese, it's got mushrooms. It's got my name on it.
Esas conversaciones. Se volvió ese chico que quería ver otra vez. Y me enamoré. A volverlo a ver.
These are all homemade tortillas. They make their tortillas fresh here at the restaurant. This is really good. If you haven't had a handmade tortilla, you're missing out.
Tú me ves como nadie más, bebé. Tú me curas cuando más me duele. Sé que siempre has sabido amarme.
Eso eres tortolito,
Oh, wow.
no queda bien, bebé. Mejor de tus amigas diciendo que no.
That's the coloradito. It's got interesting flavors. I can taste orange. I can taste cinnamon. I can taste raisin. It's also got a tomato flavor. It's really complex. It's a good, your average mole sauce can have as many as 100 ingredients, and it takes them all day to make it. And they'll pound the stuff in a molcajete. They'll pound the raisins and cardamom seeds and cinnamon, and they get it all mixed up, and then they cook it down, and they get this sauce, and they strain it out. This is good. This is really good. Soup/stew.
Okay.
Chiles rellenos. One is stuffed with chicken, one is stuffed with cheese.
Okay.
And that's a Oaxacan specialty.
Okay.
Obviously, you see that's red snapper.
Yeah.
Young has never met a fish that she doesn't like. Tlayuda. That is a Oaxacan specialty. The tortilla itself is much drier and crisper than your average tortilla. But it's supposed to be really good. And then all of this stuff, it's all garnishes for the dish. Oh, this is the mole negro, black mole. This has chocolate in it.
What?
Yeah. It's a savory but slightly sweet with chocolate, and it's pork.
Okay.
And then this is a tamale. It's a Oaxacan tamale, which means it's wrapped in a banana leaf, and then it's got mole sauce on it, and it's got chicken inside, and they have another Oaxacan style tamale that had raisins in it, but we didn't get that.
Can you get me
This is the mole negro, chocolate mole. That is really rich. It's complex. One of the things they put in the mole negro besides chocolate, they take corn tortillas and they mash them up into the sauce. And so you get the corn flavor and the chocolate flavor in the sauce. I'm starting to get a theme here. I think a lot of Oaxacan cuisine has corn and chocolate flavors together because they seem to go really well together. I'm looking forward to trying the pork. This looks really good. Yeah, that sauce is super rich. The pork is soft. It's just fatty enough. It's unctuous. It's really good together. It's a nice, tasty mole. Now this is a Oaxacan tamale. It's wrapped in a banana leaf. It's got a mole sauce on it, and it's filled with chicken. Again, the really rich, sweet mole sauce. The chicken is good. The masa for the tamale is very soft. And look at that shredded chicken inside. I think they probably smoked the chicken before they put it in there because it's got a really smoky flavor. Very tasty tamale. Okay. Now the chili relleno comes in a plate of 2. We got one of them with chicken inside and one of them with cheese inside. And it comes in a red, like a red mole sauce. So that's the chicken. I think I prefer cheese chili rellenos. Okay. That's a good chili relleno, but I've had others I like better. But they do rave about this chili relleno everywhere. Okay, this is cut like a pizza already. This is a tlayuda. This is a Oaxacan specialty also. It's got Oaxacan cheese and white cheese on it. It's got pork cracklings and lard spread on it. And it's got meat on top. It looks like beef and pork and sausage. I like that nice neutral cheese on top of this homemade dried tortilla. Really good. And it's crackly at the bottom. For those of you who like pizza with crisp crust, this is perfect. Just no tomato sauce. That's good.
Que tú solo sabes, momentos que siento reales. Yo lo prefiero que en un largo tiempo sea tu caballero.
Tú me ves como nadie más, bebé. Me diste alas para que vuele, pero motivos para quedarme.
I don't mind being on video.
All right. It's called beef soup. You are not gonna like it. There is a giant.
That's kalbi.
2 ribs.
Yeah.
2 ribs. Let's try the soup first. Supposedly it's spicy, but it's not really spicy.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. It's not
Nothing is
spicy.
really spicy for me. I like it. Yeah, I like it.
It's not really spicy, but it's got a lot of flavor. It's got, they've been stewing the beef in here a long time, you can tell.
Nadie más, bebé. Me diste alas para que vuele, pero motivos para quedarme.
It's to cook a little bit longer, but let's see.
Como nadie más, bebé. Me diste alas para que vuele, pero motivos para quedarme.
I like it. I wish I
Como
did.
nadie más, bebé. Tú me curas cuando más me duele. Sé que siempre has sabido amarme.
Now, of course, we come to my favorite part of any meal, and that's the dessert. And we got 2 desserts here. The first one is a choco flan, which is basically a chocolate flan cake here. And the other one we got is a pastel de tres leches, which is a tres leches cake. I'm sure I've had tres leches cakes before on other videos. They're basically layers of cake and cream, and they have 3 different kinds of milks in them. Sometimes it's sweetened condensed milk, it's cream, it's whipped cream, it's different things. This also looks to have some caramel in it. I'll try the choco flan first. That's got the flan flavor with the caramel on top, normal flan on the second, and the bottom layer is like a fudgy cake fudge thing. It's good. It's really tasty. I like that. Now the tres leches, a good tres leches cake is worth its weight in gold. So now, that's moist, that's sweet, it's creamy, it's fragrant, it's delicious. It's really good. I like them both. It's a shame, we've got 4 people at the table tonight. It's really a shame that they're not going to get any. Okay, so I've got my mole here. This is leftover. There was a lot of food, a whole lot of food. Dinner was delicious. Everything was really unusual. The flavors were stuff you're not used to. The moles were a little sweeter than I expected. All of the moles were sweet, but they were all very good. The mole negro, which is what I've got in here, was particularly good and very complex. I enjoyed the meal. Our friends enjoyed the meal. Young enjoyed the meal. This was certainly a worthwhile place to come. If you're looking for something a little different, they have tacos, but not the kind you're used to. They don't have a lot of the Mexican food you're used to, but they do have really good, unusual Oaxacan flavored food. And if you've never tried it, it's certainly something you've got to try at least once. Maybe you'll want to try it more than once. In the future, we will come here in an Uber because their bar had a lot of interesting looking drinks. They had all kinds of mezcals. I wouldn't mind trying it. I wouldn't mind being hungover from it. But, maybe we'll get a hotel room up here or something and spend the night.